Okay, we are officially live. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiano Mtandazo. If you are new to our channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe to join the family, and then click the like, share, and the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we upload new content. As you guys can see, today we are doing an Instagram live. I am joined by Ngoako, who is actually the founder and owner of the Travel Maverick. So we're going to talk all about that today. Before wasting any time, I'm going to just request that he requests to join the live, and then we can start talking. In the meantime, guys, go and click that subscription button. Subscribe. And we had another interview yesterday, and we had one. So just check those out if you are in business, an aspiring entrepreneur, so that you can get some insights from the people who are actually already the particular industries or who are already in business. Get my questions ready, get your tea ready, your water to start the interview. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm great. I'm all
Awesome,
good.
man.
I'm actually excited for this one because, guys, if you didn't know, this is the person who planned my Mozambique trip. So,
Yep.
very excited. I'm very excited. So I think let's just start. First thing is, of course, always introduce yourself, tell us about yourself. So you don't have to tell us anything about the business at this time, just something about
Okay.
yourself, and then we'll get to the business questions going forward.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, and greetings to everyone. Ke re thobela. I am Ngoako wa ha Setwaba. I'm born in Bochum, in the Limpopo province. I'm currently a resident of Gauteng. I'm an entrepreneur and an integration specialist by profession.
Great. What's an integration specialist now? Why are you dropping hectic words?
Basically, just getting involved where internal system get integrated with an external system. So I'm that go in between person.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, why am confused? Are we so early in the interview, but already we are confused?
So yeah, I'm a half marathon runner. I also do cycling.
Great.
So yeah, that's basically me.
Lovely. Because hi man, come on, drop one thing about yourself apart from okay, that's interesting.
Sure.
That's good to know. Okay, let's not waste any time. First, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to do this interview. Thank you for allowing us a few minutes of your time. I know that we can get very busy, so much appreciated. So let's move to our first question. So first question, let's get to know more about your business. So you just tell us about your business. What does your business do? When did it start? And yeah, the basics.
Okay. I'm in a few businesses, but today we'll talk transportation. I run a courier company, and I run the Travel Maverick, which is a shuttle service, airport transfer, group travel. We do holiday packages as well in there. In terms of where it started, I think my journey in business started in my varsity days. We used to collect second-hand books, myself and a classmate of mine at the time, and we would go, around the faculty, collecting from fellow students. And we would obviously negotiate price with them. We would sell the books obviously for a markup. We would add our own markup to ensure that we get profit out of it. So that's basically where the fun, the love for entrepreneurship started.
Not true. And then when did you start? Okay, wait. Yeah. Okay, so you dropped like too many bombs. Okay, cool. So you've got transportation. So you said there's the career part of it, and then there's the transportation. So transportation, there's car hire, there's airport shuttles, and then you said you do group travels, right? So I know the group travels. That's the one I participated in. So I'm an airport transfers. Do you guys only do it in Johannesburg, Solanseria, and OR Tambo, or just one airport?
I'm still very much in my infancy stage. So at this point, the focus area has been Gauteng. Obviously, I'm hoping that as time goes, we'll be able to, plant cars everywhere across the country, but mainly at this point, it's still Gauteng. Though I do, every now and then get, clients from Limpopo, we get clients from KZN. I mean, we've got your Nomta here, who is all the way in KZN, but yeah, we're still able to share the traveling experience with you. Yeah.
Yes, got you. Okay, so and then the courier, what type of courier do you guys do, and in which part of the country do you guys courier to?
So the courier is two-faceted. I have subcontracted with one of the major courier companies in South Africa. I will not mention the name. And I also do removals on the side, your furniture removals, or any kind of delivery that you need to be done. So that's the more on the private side of delivery service.
You see, now I was relocating from Johannesburg in April to KZN, and when you didn't tell me you've got removal.
I couldn't keep up with your movement. One moment you're in Four Ways, the next year, and before I know it, you're moving to KZN. By the time I catch, you're already unpacking in KZN. So yeah, it just.
Okay, that's interesting. That's amazing. You're very busy. Sure. Okay. So what's next question? So we've unpacked like the two types of transportation that you guys do. So that's great. The next question is, what inspired you to start? So you did say, Wuti, the love for entrepreneurship started at your early varsity days, where you guys used to sell the secondhand books. So then what inspired you to actually start? You can either explain what inspired the start of the entrepreneurial journey, or you could just explain what inspired you to start like the transportation part of the business.
100%. So from the varsity days, I went into the corporate. I worked like anyone else. A few years later, to be precise, I think it was 9 years or so ago, I had an opportunity to buy a car, my first car at the time. And I was fortunate at the time that I was reading a book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Oh, and read that book or read it. Okay.
And there was a section in there that spoke about buying an asset against buying a liability. Basically saying, buying something that will generate more money for you against buying something that will take money out of your pocket. And at the time, my friends were buying the Polo, your GTIs, your Beamers, and being a Maverick, not the normal one, the one who don't conform to the standards that everyone is following. The book kind of answered the conundrum I had at the time. I then bought the courier van. And basically that's where my entrepreneur career just elevated to a different level. Basically that's when the Setoba Courier Service was born.
Got you. Sure, that's amazing.
And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, that's the first part of it. It then took a few years. There was quite a lot of challenges along the way, including losing contracts, and having to take money out of my own pocket to now finance the car. Because now I did not have the other stream of income that I had found to make sure that I'm able to maintain everything that I had at the time, until later on in 2020, when things settled. I then found myself in another group of guys. We then invested in the whole airport transfer, group travels, taking people around, exploring Africa as a whole, South Africa and Africa. Basically, the idea there was to, sell affordable holiday packages to those that never thought, would be able to afford, being out there taking pictures by the poolside, taking pictures by the ocean, or even capturing moments leaving South Africa, because the idea has always been that traveling is for rich people, traveling is for people with money. So we're trying to bring a different side to that, to say you can still be able to work a normal job and afford to go on holiday.
Yes.
So that journey started in 2020. Unfortunately, the group dissolved at the end of 2020, and mainly was due to the COVID issues. We did not have that much business, and I think everyone kind of just lost hope.
Yes.
But because I love traveling, I love exploring, for me, I felt very strongly that the movement has to continue. In beginning of 2021, I then started my own. Now going solo. That's when I started, going by the name the Travel Maverick. And yeah, it's been a blissful experience since then.
Great, that's amazing. Sure. And well, in everything that you're saying, I'm just noticing, Oguti, sometimes we see entrepreneurs post on social media, and obviously we only see the good parts of it, and
sure.
we say we want entrepreneurship, but we forget to go to there's so many challenges that one faces along the way. Now listening to you mention all of those challenges, it's just making me realize, hey, actually it's a journey. So there's gonna be great times and there's gonna be hectic, tough times. But obviously, if you've got the passion like yourself, you just keep pushing through and making sure what you find. Because this doesn't work, and you're like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm gonna find another way to make it work, or to find
100%.
another solution to the problem. Yeah, that's just amazing. That's inspirational.
Yeah,
it's very inspirational. So I'm gonna move to the next question. So what basically drives you or motivates you to just keep pushing even through the tough times? Because as you've mentioned, Manju, it's you guys started the group in 2020, it got dissolved, and then you just were like, okay, fine, we'll try me again on my own. What was that drive? What motivates you to just keep pushing?
I need to leave a legacy. I need to leave a mark when I'm gone. I've got a little one who's 10 years old. Obviously, her future is pretty much in my hand in terms of making sure that I give her, a background where she will be able to, just flourish and not have to worry about where the next meal is going to come from. And also, I think not wanting to disappoint myself. This is a movement that I feel very strongly about. So I do not see myself doing anything but, pushing to be great in this platform that I'm in. I think that for me, always come on top in terms of not wanting to give up, always trying to reinvent myself, trying to find new ways of doing things, making sure that the business succeeds. As I mentioned, the struggles that you come across in this kind of setup, and at this point, I wouldn't even say that I'm at the position where I want to be. I'm still hustling. I'm still pushing to get into levels where I don't need to mention my name. Everyone can be able to just easily say, oh, that's Travel Maverick, without me saying who I am. So, there's still quite a lot of bricks that I need to stack up before I can get to that point. All of that is on a daily becoming, motivation for me to say, you still got the work to do. And I have to still be reporting to someone else to do the integration specialist role. So, there's quite a lot happening. So, for me, it's just, the never giving up part that really, drives me. And through that, I feel I will ultimately eventually get to, where I want to be.
Lovely. I just love what you said. I understand the legacy part, because I feel like every parent would do that for their kids. And I think almost everyone, we all want to leave a legacy. It could be, I don't know, the lives of people that you touch, or it could be for you, even if it's not your daughter, but also the people that get to travel and say, I went to Mozambique because the Travel Maverick existed and they gave me an amazing experience, and I'm so grateful that he started the business and he came up with the idea. But I
Absolutely.
think what you said about not wanting to disappoint yourself is something that we sometimes forget, because sometimes we don't put ourselves first. We put everything else around us above us, and then we forget to put, hey, I'm also human. I need to achieve certain things for myself, and I need to also make sure that I don't disappoint myself. I love that. Love that. Well, mind you, being all philosophical. So I think I caught there with you still reporting as an integration specialist, which means you are still working full time, are you?
100%, 9 to 5.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is definitely going to be,
so maybe just before you jump to the next question. So here is how I view it, right? We often want to find ourselves in a space where you have multiple streams of income.
Correct.
So my 9 to 5 is part of that setup. It does not necessarily mean because I have a 9 to 5, it means that's where, my life ends, and everything else that I'm doing, as people often say, side hustle. And I think for me, I actually one day would like to find a way of just scratching out this whole side hustle notion that exists, especially in our townships. You often see so many businesses that have been started as side hustles, and they're still in that structure. The side hustle 20 years, 30 years later. You look at your ShopRite and your Woolworths and say, when did they start? What setup did they follow as compared to those that were started in the township? And I think the sooner you realize that the business that you start has got the potential of becoming something big, has got the potential of moving the country or even the world, then, you start thinking in a different kind of mindset to that of, I just want to bake magwinya kwa strateng. Yes, you can bake magwinya, but tomorrow you can own a bakery. It's where you start, but it does not mean that's where you need to end until your last day in this world. So my mindset is 9 to 5 is just part of my income stream. I've got all the other ones that are just helping me to to get to where I want to be able to pay all my expenses, to be able to live in places where I would feel comfortable being in.
Oh my gosh, that you just dropped a bomb right there, because Izola was actually doing an interview with a lady who actually has a side hustle, and one of the questions I asked her was, well, where do you see your side hustle going? Because it's exactly what she's saying, Wuti. It's still part of your income stream, but are you going to grow it, or you want it to begin and end there? That's just Yeah, you're making me question so many decisions that I've made in life.
Don't worry, you'll get there. You still have a chance to judge.
Yeah. Wow. That's actually so true. That's actually so true. Wow. Yeah. The way you answer the next question is going to be very interesting for me to hear, because it kind of resonates with what you've just spoken about. So I need to know, how do you balance out your life? Because, well, there's business, there's your work, there's your family, you still have friends. How do you try and find that, even if it's not like a proper balance, but just to make sure that, hey, Ngoako is still getting time to spend with his daughter. He's still able to be present fully for all his income streams. He's still able to be a son. He's still able to be a friend. And you are still able to get time to yourself. Because I think that's one thing, as much as all the other things are also important, but you need to make time to re-energize so that you can go out there and be like fully present. So how do you try to balance all that?
So I think of a scenario where you have to go visit your mom and you have to check your calendar, not how much you've got in the pocket. So it's quite challenging, I must say, because often than not, you don't know where you're going to be next week. Planning also becomes a bit of a tricky one, especially when you're still starting, because you don't have enough to pay someone or have a team that can be able to do the work for you when you're not around. So most of the time it's you taking care of things yourself to make sure that you cut costs.
Yes, definitely.
So that's the number one part of it. And I think delving deeper into it, in terms of partners, you definitely would need a very supportive partner, one who understands what you're trying to build. I think this is where it becomes important that you have a vision of where you want to go, how you want to build, because then that's the picture that you'll be drawing to the family, to those close to you, to understand exactly what you're trying to do. When you're not around, they know exactly what is it that you're trying to build. It's very important to be able to build that picture for your loved ones, so that they understand. There's instances where I find myself in the car in the AMs, when everyone is dreaming, probably tossing and turning, when you are on the road taking someone to the early flight at the airport. And this is the life that I have chosen for myself. This is what I saw to myself that I'll be doing. And, I have to do it with flair. I have to do it with a smile. I have to also show those close to me that this is something that I love doing, so that they can also start believing what I am doing. And I think with it obviously comes the confidence that they're able to now start believing that this thing is real. So that is very important in terms of just making sure that you balance. But there are times where you need to switch off. When I'm not working, I just want to be at home and do as little as possible. Sometimes even catch up on movies or catch up on whatever dramas that are there, like any normal person would, just to to feel normal again.
Got you. Love that. Today I feel like I'm learning so many things about life, but we keep it moving. I don't want to hold you up for too long. Our next question is, how has COVID-19 affected you as a business? So here you can go on as much as you want. Okay.
Yeah, it's been crazy. As I mentioned, when we started the whole travel journey, we started right a few months before COVID, and COVID hit. Things packed, cars parked. I remember at some point I didn't have space in the yard. One of the cars was parked at my workplace, and every second week I would go to the office just to start up the car so that the battery, still able to function. And that happened for a good number of months. I mean, that was March, April, May. There was the hard lockdown. I think only in July is that we started again seeing movement. September, I managed to go on trip in that year, and that's where the movement ended. Then it started again last year with myself now away from the group. It was still, stop, go. At some point in May, June, there was the provincial lockdown that happened. I had to cancel Mozambique trip again there because now it was a case of no movement, and obviously it's loss of money. I now have to find myself taking out money out of my pocket to fund for the car installment, which obviously can't be easy. So yeah, it was pretty hectic. It was pretty hectic. I don't want to lie, but I guess this is where planning comes into play. I think every business, you need to have some sort of plan in terms of looking forward and saying, here are scenarios that could potentially come to pass, including your business not functioning. What then happens when your business is not functioning? Will you be able to survive? Will your business be able to survive that time if you were to be sitting for 3 months without income?
Sure.
How are you going to be able to manage all of that? So I found that through that pre-planning, it kind of helped in terms of just making sure that I'm still able to pace myself. I'm still able to pay that and that with the money that I had on the side. And by grace of God, we survived. Now, things are back to normal. We are flourishing again.
Yes, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just love to see how, like, when I speak to entrepreneurs, like during these interviews, and just like hearing you guys speak about how COVID-19 affected you all and how you grew from that and the lessons that you guys learned. And sometimes like it forces you to become more innovative, and then you have to like figure out another plan around it. You can make sure you're still keeping the business alive, and it's
very true.
Post-COVID.
Very true.
So we are down to the last two questions. It's been,
Okay.
I must say, it's been an amazing interview. Don't want to shoot it. Like I've been learning a lot myself, not just about business, because some of the things actually relate to like your personal life as a person. So I hope people will actually take the important notes that they need to
Yeah.
take. Our second last question says, given an opportunity, what advice would you give yourself as a startup entrepreneur? So if you go back to that very beginning when you bought that first Baki, what
Yeah.
advice would you give yourself if you were given an opportunity to speak to yourself then? Like with all that you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Look, I think one would be, just to stay in your lane. Um, the world that we live in has got so much going on. There's so much happening.
Mm,
Um, if you're going to be influenced by everything that moves, everything that flies, believe you me, you are not going to get to where you want. Sorry, where you want to get to.
mm,
Being in your own lane allows you to, pace yourself based on, what you are seeing in front of you. And that I think I found to be very, very important lesson that I had to find as I navigate this whole complicated world of entrepreneurship
mm.
by not wanting to go with what the rest are doing. And that for me has really helped me to be where I am. Because what I do because I sat down and planned it and decided that this is how I'm going to execute it, not because someone came and influenced it by showing me something that didn't. Yes, you can take teachings from what other people do, but you need to bring it back home. You need to bring it back into your space, into the template that you have created, and see if it fits into that. If it does not, then it means it was not yours to begin with. Move on. You
Well,
continue with the template that you know.
amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Sure. That's very important. Especially with social media. That's very important. Very, very, very important. So the last question is, do you have any comments you would like to give to a viewer who is watching at home, who is maybe an aspiring entrepreneur or someone who's thinking of joining entrepreneurship or starting a business? I think even like someone who's just starting up in their career or wants to change their career, like what advice would you give to that person?
We often hear people saying that do what you love. Being an entrepreneur, you don't only do what you love, you go into what makes business sense. That's what you follow. However, as a startup, it's always easier to start with the love. Um, that way, you are able to gain followership. You are
Mm,
able to make what you are offering believable to people. A
mm,
person will follow you based on how they see you reacting to the product that you are trying to sell. um, if your face is reflecting what you're trying to sell, your tone, the way you carry yourself when you're talking about your products, all of that will the energy that is created in that will make people to start following
yeah.
what you're doing. It becomes easier for people to lean towards you as compared to doing something that you're doing because they said it's a business opportunity,
Mm,
and 3 months down the line you find that it's not really serving your purpose. It's not really something that you thought you could be doing. So it's very important that at the beginning stage of your entrepreneurship, you follow that line where you're doing something that you are passionate about. Then once you have grown, matured from a business point of view, you can then diversify, look at other areas so that you can grow into, and in that way, you will be building your profile, brick by brick. I think that is very, very important. That as youth, even adults that wants to go into business should try to applying it, and it might work for me and not work for the second person. And the other part is go into business not wanting the business to rescue you from where you are. Often than not, we see people going into business because they want to live in double-story houses. They want to drive a Beamer. They want to, be seen, go into all these, fancy places and whatnot. By doing that, you do not give your business an opportunity to grow, to make mistakes, to rebuild itself. That, for me, I find to be very important. If you can make sure that you allow the business to grow, to make mistakes, even if you are making R5 profit end of the month, it will still be fine. However, if you follow the other path, by the moment you realize that you have made 1,000 profit, within a couple of months, the business might die because it's not saving what your life is trying to get at. So in a way, you don't give the business an opportunity to go through the stages of business. So I feel that is extremely, extremely important for someone who wants to go into business to apply.
Yeah, that's actually very important. Very, very important. I love how you keep emphasizing the breaks. I call them baby steps in life. It's like you need to understand that you need to make the baby steps one step at a
Break
time.
by
Don't rush.
break, break
Yes,
by break.
break by break. And don't jump
Yeah.
the full house or the full wall to be
No,
done in like
it's going
one
to
day.
all collapse.
Yes, it's going to collapse. Do it brick by brick, baby steps. That's just
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. We don't have questions, so we just have comments from Muspe. She's really enjoying the interview. Thank you
I
for
see.
that. Thank you for everyone who's joined in. If they do send me questions either on my WhatsApp or on the YouTube video, if on the comments, I will send them through to you, and then you will be able to answer those for us. Before we love and
100%.
leave you and let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, please let us know, Uti, where can they get you? Should they be booking? And please let us know if there's any travel trips you guys are planning anytime soon, so that people can know where to find you.
Okay, I'm the Travel Maverick on all the social platform, Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Those that want to WhatsApp me, they can find my details on both the platform, but my number is 078 673 3063. I'll repeat it, 078 673 3063. In terms of the upcoming trips,
just 1 minute, guys. It seems like we're having a little bit of a connection glitch. Okay. Okay, we're not able to get him back. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add. Yeah, I think his connection gave up. Okay, that's fine. First, thank you to everyone who was able to join us today. Let's see if we can get him back on the call. Okay. I think we're winning. We're able to get him back. Let's see.
I got lost there for a moment.
I'm like, where are you? Okay, no stress. I was starting to get worried. I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna have to add it in the description. No, it's fine. You were telling us
no
upcoming
problems.
travel trips.
Yes, so The travel trips, we've got Durban July coming up next week. That's already set and done. We will be going back to Mozambique in beginning of September, the 2nd to the 5th of September. We're going back, to Mozambique. It will be our spring celebration, bringing back summer again, dusting all the winter ice of us. So yeah, we'll be in Mozambique in September. On the 28th of September, we will be going to Namibia via Botswana. We'll do Gaborone, we'll do Windhoek, we'll do Swakopmund. That's going to be an affair for 6 days. And in that would be September into October. November, we'll be doing Mpumalanga. We'll be exploring local panorama routes. Those that love local travels, we are there also. The big one coming up in February will be the Tanzania one. So we'll be in Zanzibar in February. So please make sure that your budget is ready. We're looking at Cape Town in December, but nothing has been confirmed as yet. I'm sure we'll be able to, post about that on our social media page in due time. Next year, calendar should be out soon. We're basically saying Africa, we are almost done with all the spaces. We want to see how Indonesia looks. We want to see how Turkey looks. We want to see how Greece look. We are just going and venturing into the world and saying, we are South African and we are interested in seeing how you do your stuff. And in that way, just try learning how other cultures do things compared to, what we see here at home. So yeah, my social handles, the Travel Maverick SA, on both Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Awesomeness. Thank you so much for allowing us your time. Thank you for all the information you've shared with us, all the knowledge, the lessons that we have learned, that you actually have learned and now sharing with us so that we don't make the same mistakes that you made.
Absolutely.
Fixed. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and yeah, it's goodbye from me.
Thank you for having me. It's been great chatting to you, and yeah, good luck with what you're doing here. This is really beautiful, and I hope that it blow up to a point where you also no longer introduce yourself. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.